But I want to start with the big news today. David Fifita backflipping on the Roosters. Just your reaction when you first heard this.
Yeah, this one's a weird one. Obviously, it looks signed, sealed, delivered. And then this morning I woke up to the news that he's backflipped and stayed at the Titans. For the Titans, it's massive news. But for the Roosters, I think it'll leave a very, very sour taste in their mouth. And what does this mean now for Angus Crichton and the Roosters? And we also saw Wayne Bennett announce that he signed for 3 years at South. So it's a big week in footy, and we've got the Magic Round coming up. So some good stories already leading into this week's match.
Absolutely. Never a dull day in rugby league, Josh. Well, let's start with Magic Round. It all takes place up at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. It's going to be an epic weekend. Let's talk about the Seagulls and the Broncos. Now, the Seagulls, $3.70. Broncos, $1.27. Obviously, they're at home for this one. They've got the home crowd advantage, so it helps. But do you agree with where the market's at in that one?
Yeah, I think so. I think Manly, I don't know how you can tip them at the moment. The last 2 weeks, they've had decent leads and surrendered them. So it's a worrying trend for the Manly side. They do welcome back Olakau'atu, but Turbo is obviously out. So Kohler goes into fullback, Viega on the wing, and Tommy Talau goes into the centres. For the Broncos, they had a really polished performance against the Eels. They in the first half, they were put to the sword a little bit, but in the second half, they got back into the flow of the game in wet conditions and still managed to score plenty of points. Jock Madden comes in for Josh Rogers, who I feel quite sorry for. He had an outstanding game in halves in only his second game. And Blake Moser comes onto the bench. Tyson Smoothie starts in hooker, so no Billy Walters. But Manly's Magic Round record is pretty poor. They've won 1 from 4. And they've lost their last 4 at Suncorp. So basically, off those stats of the way they've been playing, I can't see anything but a Broncos victory, and I've tipped them 13 plus. I think Ezra Mam and Reece Walsh will light up Suncorp Stadium.
Wow, 13 plus. That's a huge call to kick it all off, Josh. Up next, of course, the Sharks and the Roosters. Sharks, $2.40. Roosters, $1.55. They're the short favourites here. The Sharks have been incredible through the opening rounds. Is this going to be their first real test, do you think, of a Magic Round?
Oh, look, I think their first real test was last week against the Storm, and they passed that with flying colours. They had no Nico Hines. Daniel Atkinson really stepped up and really delivered for the Sharkies. They welcomed Nico back this round. If they can get the job done against the Roosters, well, then that's 2 big scalps in 2 weeks. I think people should really stand up and recognise that they are a genuine threat this year. But the Roosters have won 8 of their past 9 versus the Sharkies, and the Sharkies are 1 from 7 at Suncorp. So, I think the Roosters, the way that they're playing, they're just scoring plenty of points. I think they can, defensively, they can take care of the Cronulla outside backs, and I think it'll be one in the forward pack. So if the Sharkies can outmuscle the Roosters forwards, they're more than capable of getting the job there done. But I think there's too many points in the Roosters, so I've tipped the Roosters in that one. And Daniel Tupou celebrates his 250th NRL game, so congratulations to my wingman Toops.
Absolutely going to be a milestone match for him up there, and especially if they can get the job done. Next, we're focusing on the Warriors, $3.70. Panthers, $1.27. We know there's no Nathan Cleary. It's devastating news for the Premiers and also for the State of Origin for the Blues. But the Warriors, I mean, they are struggling to hit form at the moment. They've got a few injuries out as well, so it's a tough task for them.
Yeah, look, they're missing their key playmaker as well. Sean Johnson obviously out with that pec injury. This one will test both sides' depth. Jack Cole comes in to fill the big shoes of Nathan Cleary. For the Warriors, there's no Roger Tuivasa-Sheck as well. Rocco Berry's out. So they lose quite a bit there. Isaac Tungo comes back in, but the Warriors, they've lost their last 5 at Suncorp. Panthers, they've won their last 8 versus the Warriors. So
wow.
The stats point towards a Panthers victory there as well. For the Warriors, Dylan Watini-Zelezniak celebrates his 200th game. So they might be up. That milestone games can have a habit of producing great victories, great performances, sorry. But yeah, I think there's just too many outs in the Warriors side for me. I think Panthers have shown that they can still play well without Cleary. So I've tipped the Panthers here 13 plus. And Brian Tuttle, he scored 7 tries in 5 games versus the Warriors, so he might be one of my try scorers this week.
Brian To'o is always one to watch. He's such a strike weapon for them. Up next, the Tigers, $3.20. The Dolphins, $1.35. The West Tigers have won 3 of their 4 at Magic Round games. So there's some promising signs there, but they are too another team that is out of form and struggling to get some wins on the board.
Yeah, they are, and they lose John Bateman and Isaiah Papali'i, Stafford Toa. So they've got some experienced first graders there they're missing. And for the Dolphins, well, they welcome back the hammer. He's absolutely light up Magic Round, I think. And the Dolphins, they're coming second in tries scored this year. So, they've got plenty of points in them, but it's their defence which has been really resilient. They've been able to, take hits early on, but be able to build themselves back into the game, get themselves back in the game, and then win games late. And that is typical of Wayne Bennett coach side. Their completion rates are normally high. I just think with the inclusion of Hammer now, we're going to see the best Dolphins outfit, and I think that they will get a win over the Tigers in this one.
Yeah, that will be a huge game for them in front of what will be almost like a home crowd as well up there at Suncorp. Okay, other games to scan our eyes across for Magic Round. Raiders and the Bulldogs. This is a tough one.
This was probably the toughest one to pick of the week, and I think I've gone with the Dogs off the back of their performance at Penrith. I think they really stuck to Penrith, and it's a different Dogs side we're seeing to the Dogs of old. So I'm leaning with the Doggies in this one.
Up next, we've got the Titans and the Knights.
Yeah, look, the Titans registered their second win of the year, and they were very courageous, but they've just got too many outs now. AJ Brimson out, Kieran Foran out. They're key attacking players. So I've tipped the Knights in that one.
Rabbitohs and the Cowboys.
Yeah, look, this is a tough one as well. Purely for the fact that it's in Queensland, the Queensland crowd, I think that'll get the Cowboys home.
And Storm taking on the Eels. Eels, another team that is struggling with form. Storm, obviously, looking like they're absolutely cruising through the first 10 rounds.
Yeah, I've tipped the Storm in that one. I think the Eels, they looked good in parts against the Broncos, and if they can keep that up, I think this will be a closer game than most people expect, but I just think the class of the Storm will get them over the line in that one.
Yeah, no doubt. And the Dragons are with the bye this weekend, so they miss out on Magic Round. We certainly won't be missing out on all the action. Josh Morris, thanks so much for your time. We'll catch you next week.
No worries. And you enjoy that Italian pizza and those, are they Aperol spritzers? I'm sure you'll
Yeah, I've had a few. Thanks, Josh.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.